Hi there, I'm Adam and I make EV content, right now primarily focused on Fisker. And unfortunately for me, it's been really tough to keep up with all this news. First, let's talk about the bankruptcy. Fisker's Austria unit begins insolvency proceedings. Remember, that's the Austria unit, but it's a really important unit. We'll get to that in a minute. But the first thing to note is that's not Fisker Inc., the US company, right now. Fisker's Austrian unit filed for bankruptcy protection on Tuesday as the cash-strapped EV startup looks for strategic options after talks with a major automaker for a potential investment collapsed. There's your first thing to note. If somebody comes to you and says, Fisker has a partner, they're going to restart production right away, this is literally the exact opposite of that. Published by Reuters. Fisker GmbH said other divisions are not included in the restructuring process and will continue to operate normally. That's big. By filing to open a restructuring proceeding via self-administration, Fisker Austria gains breathing room to protect its business while it conducts a value-maximizing strategic transaction or other sale of assets. Fisker continues to diligently explore all available options to maximize the value of its global business. The article also references on April 23rd, that was 30 days before the company may have to file for bankruptcy protection. As of right now, Fisker said the unit will continue to pay its employees and sell and service vehicles. This news was from yesterday if you're watching when the video comes out, but I did get some good feedback from one commenter regarding the consequences of this action. Their official goal is to be able to deliver more cars and services like over-the-air updates. Therefore, it should be appreciated because it should give hope. And other than the word bankruptcy, that's the other word we can take away from this, is hope that updates will be delivered. Speaking of updates, 2.1 is out there. I have seen a video with 2.1 vehicles for sale. Now, this is just an absolutely poor way to find out that your vehicle is no longer up to date if you have all three parts of 2.0. But the good news is 2.1 exists and it is out there. And if it was a Tesla update, it would probably simply say minor fixes. And until we see the release notes from Fisker, that's what we have to assume. So now that that information is cleared up, we should probably look at a customer experience that I recently was sent an email about. Thought I would share a letter I just received from Hertz. Backstory. Took possession January 4th. My wife and I were out of town from February 2nd to February 15th, came home to a dead 12 volt. It was plugged in the whole time while we were gone. Started working with service on February 16th. Had 2 roadside assistance calls to my house on February 17th. Both attempts to restart the 12 volt killed the roadside operator's jump box, but the Fisker was still dead. Sunday, I was told it would take some unknown amount of time to get me a tech in Ohio. The service rep was super nice. She offered me lift credits, but because it's hard to get a lift in my residential area, she offered a Hertz rental instead. Picked up the rental Monday, February 19th, with an initial reservation of 1 week, with the plan to extend if it was needed. Hertz took my credit card for incidentals. Billing was going straight to Fisker. On Monday, I got the promise from the service representative the tech was coming on February 27th. Returned the car February 26th rather than extending the rental. Then we were returned the car. I was reassured that my card was not being charged. The bill was going to Fisker. Technician visited on February 28th. Great visit. Even gave me some Fisker stickers and I was back in Fisker heaven. February 29th, I bought 100 shares. Convinced the earnings call was going to be great news. Sad emoji. As you can see in the letter, well, let's read the letter. After numerous requests for payment from Fisker Group Incorporated, they have declined payment of your rental charges. Although arrangements for this rental were made by Fisker Group on your behalf, ultimately the signer of the rental agreement are responsible for payment. Since the rental agreement is secured by your signature and card, the amount due has been billed to your card. There are people shopping for Fisker Oceans right now because they're available at a very low price and for the money are a pretty good deal. But we should dig deeper. Here's my list of pros and cons when buying a Fisker Ocean right now. Pro, it's really good looking. Another pro, it's pretty rare and it's probably going to stay that way. I don't really know about parts. You can't get parts, at least some of the parts. Some of the parts you can get. The other parts you're not going to be able to get. So if you need parts, hopefully you'll need a part that you can get. Next is insurance. Can you insure the Ocean? Well, right now you can, but you may not be able to soon. And if you are able to, well, it may be really expensive. How about service? Now, EVs don't need a lot of service, but sometimes they do need service, especially when you have a car that has completely incomplete software. So you're going to have to decide, is it okay to not be able to get service all the time? Many people will tell me that right now Fisker is not going to go bankrupt and they're still an okay company. And if that's true, why can't you get service unless your car isn't running? Literally only dead cars are getting guaranteed service right now. And if the dealership model works, well, that's great, except that your dealer may be hundreds of miles away, like in my case. No matter what, it's going to be hundreds of miles away. Here's another pro. How about the community? The Fisker community is full of great people and intelligent folks who will probably find the answers to questions that we have as we go forward. But you're going to have to rely on them. That's the con part of it. What are your Fisker pros and cons? Let me know down in the comments below. Join Patreon or become a YouTube member for early access to videos. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hey! Smash the like button!
Thank you.